Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to this webinar. I'm so glad I'm a part of this in inviting all our attendees to this webinar. So just to start off things, I would like everyone to put it in the chat. Where are you joining from? And also to help us as a team to understand, like, what are you looking out for in this particular webinar? I mean, have you been using Zendesk or Service Cloud, and any use case that we could help you with while hosting this webinar? We'll just wait for one more minute just to see that we have the more attendees joining in. But yeah, meanwhile, just a few pieces of instructions. There is a Q&A section. So I would request anyone during the webinar, if you have any questions, post your questions there. We would be happy to answer them towards the end of the webinar once my colleague has completed the demo, and they will take the questions and answer one by one. So let's feel free to post anything that comes across your mind during the webinar. Okay, so I see still members joining in. Hello to everyone. And if you didn't hear to me before, just letting you know that please drop a comment in the chat to see, like, where are you joining from, and then what kind of tool are you using. We're going to talk about Translate Zendesk and SF Service Cloud help content automatically with Smartcat AI. So if you've been using Zendesk or both, let us know. Okay. Since it's already been 3 minutes into this, I'll just start by introducing myself. So hi, I am Arun Ravindran. I am part of customer experience here in Smartcat. And basically what I do is speak and understand customer issues, customer features, and then pass it on to the internal teams to ensure that you have the best customer experience with the product. I'm joined by my colleague, Laura Hargreaves, and she's the solutions expert in Smartcat. She deals with a lot of technical configurations and updates in onboarding our customers, and as well as explaining and implementing certain use cases that adds value to our customers. So welcome, Laura. And yeah, let's start this with the goal of how we can help you understand the way that Smartcat, helps translate Zendesk and the Service Cloud help content automatically to the languages that you need to get it translated to with Smartcat AI. So moving further, just to let you know that the agenda of this whole webinar, we start with the overview of Smartcat, and then we move on to a hands-on session from Laura on the Smartcat AI for Zendesk, followed by the same with Smartcat AI for Salesforce Service Cloud. And like I said, we'll keep posting your questions on the Q&A section. It's right there on the top where you can see that for the Zoom meeting. And then when you post that, we will be collecting all those questions towards the end of the session, and we'll be answering that for you. Okay, so for those who have, been using Smartcat or not aware of Smartcat also, I just wanted to give a small summary. Smartcat is being used by at least 20% of our Fortune 500 clients. You can look at some named logos there. And you know that this is the most essential language AI platform for the enterprise that we use. And there's a testament by Josie Mills from Stanley Black and Decker. Basically, our use case is to help you prevent the translation costs and use AI, to go in and then update your document or any kind of website, videos, and there it is. We translate it in no time. You have less bottlenecks with agencies, right? And each time we are using AI to learn that through our translation memory, and then that creates much faster translations. So it is the most, we have been also ranked as the most user-friendly translation software, right? For the enterprises. If you see, that's our grading, and we are a leader in the G2 Summer 2023 leader and SOC 2 compliant. So yeah, that's how it has been. If you have an experience with Smartcat recently, please feel free to share that with us in the chat. It will always help us to pass it on to our teams. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking through the chat. Let's go. Okay, so what is this webinar mostly for? So as you know, that we are going to demo on the translation services of Service Cloud and Zendesk using Smartcat AI. The key benefits or the use cases that can help is, of course, faster responses for support teams or even other teams that want their product to be self-serve from the customers. The translations happen for your help center articles in seconds. That reduces the response time. There's less manual effort. You don't have to create a lot of configurations and things to make this happen. In SmartCat, there are automated workflows, and this will boost productivity all across. A consistent quality, in the world of AI, you ensure that there's a standardization in the type of tone and the translation services that has been given with accuracy. And basically our AI engine learns from each edits that is being made and improves it for the next one. And this high quality responses increases global customer satisfaction. And now I'll pass it on to Laura. Welcome, Laura, and she will start with the product demo, starting with that of with Zendesk. Over to you, Laura.
Thanks very much, Aaron. Let me just go ahead and share my screen, and we'll take a look at these workflows in action.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see my screen now. You should see the homepage of the Smartcat platform. So if you're not familiar and you haven't used Smartcat before, this is typically what you would see when you first logged in. And we have some shortcut tiles at the top here to our most commonly used workflows, as well as the main menu down here at the bottom. And this is a space where you can collaborate on all your translation content, no matter where it comes from. So in this case, we're going to look at a couple of our integrations, which is Zendesk and Salesforce Service Cloud. And they live behind our integration tile. So we have the setup and integration tile up here at the top. And once I click in that, I can see a list of all the out-of-the-box integrations we currently have available in the product. So to touch on Zendesk, first of all, the setup process for this, how this would work, we click this Zendesk item here, and we have the option to set up the integration. And what we do in this case is we enter the relevant details. So we give our connection a meaningful name. We include the Zendesk URL to the Zendesk site, the email address of the user, and also the API key from the Zendesk account as well. Once we've entered all the relevant details, we will see a tile like the one that I see here, where it says Zendesk demo. Once I click into this tile, I can see a full hierarchy of the content within my Zendesk environment. I can see all those different categories and the articles that appear within there. So at this point, I can either choose to manually translate the content that I want to translate. So if I go into this demo folder here, and if I wanted to, for example, translate this particular article, I can start a translation process right from here. So if I go to create translation here, I have the option to either create a brand new project or to add to an existing project. In this case, we'll create a new one, and I'll show you how that flow looks. So once we've chosen the content, we can go ahead and configure the settings. Now, these integrations work seamlessly with our project template functionality within Smartcat. So if there are any predefined settings that you want to automate to reduce any manual setup, you can use any templates within here as well to automate that process. Or you can enter the settings manually. So as you see here, I can enter a project name. We have a default one here, but we can adjust this if we need. We can also set a deadline if one's applicable for this content. And then down here, we choose the source and the target languages. Now, as you can see, the source language is populated based on what's set in my Zendesk environment. And I can choose the languages I want to translate into here. If I regularly translate into the same set of languages, which is common with this type of content, I can choose the languages that I use and I can save those as a set so I don't have to reselect those each time. In this case, for the sake of the demo, let's choose German on this occasion. And then down here at the bottom, we can choose the workflow that we'd like to follow for the content. So we find by default that most of our clients tend to use the AI translation followed by translation review workflow. So that's that automated translation in the first instance, followed by a human stage to make any connections needed. And that can be either an internal colleague of yours, it can be done by you yourself, or we also have a marketplace of over 500,000 linguists, freelancers, that you can leverage to scale that capability if you need help with that review process. So I'll leave the workflow as that for now. But once we've got all the settings correct on that page, we can go on to the next section, which allows us to import any existing translations we may already have in our Zendesk instance. In my case, this article is not yet translated, so we'll just go ahead and create the project in this case. And once I create the project, I can see that it runs the synchronization process and I get a success message there. Now, I can always see the progress of the work that I'm doing directly from this folder structure here. I can see that I'm working on the German translation and I have a direct link to the Smartcat project here. So if I click this will take me directly into our Smartcat project for this content, where we can see the progress of the workflow and we can access all the relevant parts of the project. So this environment that you see here, if you've used Smartcat before, this will be very familiar to you. All our projects come through into essentially the same sort of interface. So you can now manage this project in the same way as you would manage any other translation project within Smartcat. So I have the choice now either to invite a colleague to perform this review or invite a freelancer. So we can see up at the top here that our AI is recommending a freelancer who might be a good match for this content. Or I can invite somebody internal if I have somebody who normally does this review for me. What I'll do on this occasion is I'll open the editor so we can take a look at the translation environment and how that looks live. So if I go ahead and open the editor here, we will see if you've used Cat Tools before, it would be quite a familiar layout to you, where we have the English, the source content over here at this side, and we have the target, in this case German, over here on the right-hand side. And we can see a basic preview of the text with the formatting down here at the bottom to see how that would appear on the site. We can switch that back and forth between English and German, just to see any differences there. And this review stage here is a case of making any edits that might be necessary to the content and then confirming once that's been successfully completed. Now we don't need to go through and click all these little ticks individually. If we prefer to make our edits first, we then have the option to mark everything as confirmed using this confirm all in the corner. And then once everything is finished and as we want it, we can then click the Done button in the corner of the screen. And that's what will mark this file as completed. And then if I go back to my environment here, I will be able to see the updated progress on that article that I've just completed here. So as we see now, we can see the German is 100% completed. So what we can do at this point is we can send the translation back to Zendesk manually if we want to push that back manually. We can also automate this and have translations automatically pushed back to Zendesk when they're completed. But for the purposes of this demo, let's just send it manually, and then I know it's going to be there. Okay, so we're sending the German translation back to Zendesk now. Okay. Oh, I need to open that. So as we see, we get the tick to say that that's been successfully exported to the external system. And then if I go to my Zendesk environment, we should be able to see that article if I take that filter off. Yeah, so we see the German version of the article has been published here. So we see that directly within Zendesk with all the translation that we've just worked on is there. So that's how the round trip workflow works with Zendesk. A couple of other things to draw attention to here is that we have auto import and auto export settings in here. So this is quite a powerful way if you, for example, wanted to automatically translate all your FAQ articles and then you wanted to push them back to Zendesk automatically once the translation had been completed. You can set up all those into auto import rules and export rules based on filters or particular article titles and have all that automated so that you don't even have to do the manual pull and push step you've seen here. So that's Zendesk. What I'll do now is I'll just go back to the homepage of the Smartcat platform and we will take a look at Salesforce Service Cloud, which actually works in quite a similar way. So again, we start this process from the setup and integration tile here. And as you can see, we have Salesforce Service Cloud as one of these options as well. So once we click that, again, we click Setup Integration and we enter the relevant details here, which come from our Salesforce Service Cloud admin account. Once we've put all the relevant details in, again, we get the tile on the homepage, as you can see here. So similarly to with Zendesk, we have this Salesforce Service Cloud tile. And if I just go ahead and click on here, we can see that I get into a similar sort of article tree where I can see the hierarchy of what's in my my Salesforce account. And again, I can walk through the process of creating a project here. So if I want to translate, for example, this article, I can go ahead and create translation in a similar way. We can create a new project for this. Again, we can make use of any project templates we have to automate all our settings. We can add a deadline. And we can choose our source and target languages here and the workflow that we want to follow. Then we move on to the integration specific settings. So for Salesforce, just an extra thing to call out here, we can choose which article fields we want to translate. So as you know, if you work with Salesforce, there can be a lot of fields for your content, not all of which you might use or might not all be translatable. So we can choose exactly which fields we want to translate. And then if we want, we can save those as a set. If we translate the same fields every time, we don't have to keep selecting those. So for my Q&A content, you can see here I have a set of fields already saved up there that I can use. So once I have everything set up how I want it there, I can go ahead and click Create Project. And similarly, I get that success message to tell me that the project has been created. And I again have this link that I can follow to get to the Smartcat project. So if I click this, you see I will land back in the same project environment again that I was just in. And I can get into this same editor environment to review the content. So we can see in here the article in question. Similarly to last time with the Zendesk, we have the English here and the German here. We have our little preview down here, and we can work through and review the content, make any changes that we need to make. So now that we're back in the editor to call out a few features that might be helpful for anybody working on the translation review. We have support for things like comments in here at both a full document level, so for the whole article, and also at a segment level, so on an individual sentence. And this can be really useful to reduce some of that back and forth that tends to happen when you're working on this sort of content. If you have any questions or any discussions that would be best kept in context, we can keep all that in here. So if I, for example, wondered whether this was correct, I can add a comment in here. And then we can all see that down here at the bottom with the specific sentence it relates to, and we can add any replies we want to add in here to keep the discussion together. So just one way of reducing some of that email back and forth there. And a few other handy features we have down here, things like a full revision history. So if we do make any changes to the content, we can always see exactly who has made that change, what time the change was made, who made that change, and we can always restore any previous version that we want to here. So just that full traceability there. We do also have automated quality checking, so that can be customized. So if you want to flag anything like common misspellings or anything like that, we can flag those through the QA check part. But yes, if we're happy with the translation here, then as we did last time, we can go ahead and confirm all the segments, mark everything as complete. And once everything's complete there, we can click done. And then similarly to last time, we can come back to our Service Cloud environment here, and we can click the Send to Salesforce button here. And as we did last time, this will send the content back to Salesforce. We have the choice here. We can choose whether to publish the article when it goes back or to send it back as draft. That's really kind of up to how you want the workflow to work on your side. But once I click Send Translations here, we will see exporting translations to external system, and then we'll be able to we see the success message that it's been sent to Salesforce. So let's now bob into Salesforce and refresh. And we'll see the German article appear. Yeah. This one that we've just translated now. So yeah, that's the simple workflow with how the content works. Again, with this integration, we can also have the auto import and also auto export settings. So we can search and filter this content within here based on whatever we like. We can add the relevant searches in there. So if I wanted to find all articles with FAQ in the name and have those translated, I can do that way. We can multi-select. So actually quite a lot of flexibility here in terms of choosing what you do want to translate. And everything goes into that familiar project environment. So whether you're working with Zendesk or with Salesforce, you can manage your projects in the same way through this familiar interface. And again, the same interface applies for document-based projects and our other integrations as well. So we can manage everything together in one place there. That's been quite a bit of talking from me. So I don't know how we're doing for questions, Erin. Are we building up some questions in the chat yet?
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, we are into that exciting session about Q&A. I have a few questions before the webinar itself, so I will start with that. And I saw a few in the chat. But yeah, please feel free, team, to post your queries in the Q&A box or even in the chat that you see, and we'll be happy to answer. So for the interest of time, I will start going for the first question. Laura, I think this is asked by Lauren Zabel, and what she asks is, what solutions can you offer for AI audio generation in several languages?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, AI audio generation is something we're looking at internally at the moment here. So we are gathering requirements from our clients on how they might want to use this technology. So I would definitely suggest getting in touch with us, and we can jump on a call, talk through the use case, and discuss how we can best help with that.
Yeah. Thank you. If there's any follow-up questions on that, please feel free to put in the chat. I'll move to the next. The question is from Taruna Sharma, and the question is this now available in Salesforce Marketplace? I'm assuming about the translation API with Salesforce Service Cloud.
I don't believe it's available as yet, but I think that there might be some plans to add it. Dimitri, please correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah, you're correct. We don't have one at the moment, but we're looking forward to adding one. But
Yeah.
in any case, we're able to work right now, so no worries here.
Yeah. So at the moment, not in the marketplace, but hopefully you'll see it there soon. But we can support with the setup and installation from our side.
Thank you. Thanks, Taruna, for the question, and thanks, Lauren, also for the earlier question. And then we have, from Ryan G. Thompson, we have a vast knowledge base and would like to translate some of this for other markets. Okay, that's more of a feedback, but yeah, that's what Ryan says. Yep. And if you have any questions, Ryan, feel free to post it. I'll come to that. And then there's one from Nicole Ramirez. What is the best way to translate and retain machine translations of a document where 80% of the text does not change between?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if we're talking specifically Salesforce Zendesk related here or in general, but the way we translate at Smartcat, we use translation memories and we translate intelligently so that we avoid updating the same content over and over again. So that's one of the advantages of translating with us. You can reuse content that you've translated previously across different content types, and it avoids that sort of need for repeated work. So if you have anything specific, any specific use case where reuse is important to you, we'd love to discuss that further and dig into how we can maybe support with that specific case.
Okay, thanks, Laura. I have a couple of more in the chat. One is from Driki Nenebar. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Apologies. But yeah, the question is, can this be used for lab questions on test that comes from customers?
Can this be used for sorry live content? Are we saying?
The way it was said is like a lab test. Can this be used for the lab test? I'm not sure if that's what Ricky meant.
Okay, we have workflows that support a wide variety of scenarios depending on what you need. This particular workflow that we've demonstrated today is intended for the help center knowledge base type content. But we support a variety of other use cases. So if there's something specific that you're looking for, I'd suggest reaching out and we can have a specific chat about your particular use case.
Good, thank you. And then, oh yeah, we have a question after that from Tarun Sharma. Can you show once more how the translated content is sourced back to the Salesforce knowledge repository? So there's a request to see that once more.
Yeah, I absolutely can do. Also, I believe we're recording this session, so the recording will be available for all participants after we finish. So you'll be able to rewatch at your leisure. But just to quickly jump back in here, and Salesforce, handy, I'm already here. So this was the translation that we just worked on down here. So let's deselect these other ones. Whoop. I refresh my page. Yeah. So we send the content back to Salesforce manually using this button here. We can automate that, but it's just a simple button click here. And we can choose whether we want to publish or not when we send it back or leave as draft, and then go ahead and click send. And then we get the success message, at which point we can switch over to Salesforce and we see the article here. This is the one I sent earlier, but we've not made any changes. So hopefully that's a good quick summary, but yeah, do review the recording, and if you would like a more in-depth demo or anything like that, get in touch and we'll be happy to help with that.
Yeah, thanks, Laura and Tarun. If you think that helped, please let us know. Yeah, okay, I see you. Yes, and thank you for you, Laura. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. Just wanted to know everyone's thoughts of this. Is there something that we could have improved in this webinar? Or still we are open for more questions, suggestions, feedback, and it would be really helpful. And also if you could just put in your chat, like, do you look forward for testing this out quickly? It would be good for us to also know that we did at least something valuable in this webinar. Okay. All right. Okay. I guess there's no more questions or no more.
Hopefully it was helpful to see, but if anybody would like to go into more detail on anything like that, we're always happy to chat further afterwards. But yeah, it's been great to demo that for you all today. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, and just wanted to tell to everyone, thanks for joining in. And we would also like to let you know that we translate many other content types, not just this, and you can streamline the entire whole business workflow at your end as per your use case. So the translated text can be also used in training videos, so we are coming up. And please keep a watch on our Smartcat webpage and the webinars events. Each week or even for a month, we have new releases with new exciting features focused on AI, just ensuring that the efforts of our customers are less, but with quality translated outcome. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. And yeah, you will be followed up with a link to the recording and the answers to all questions. Thank you and see you soon. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.